Okay. Very good morning to all of you. Good morning, everyone. Yes, good morning. Yes, sir. Good morning. Samadhya, good morning. Good morning to all of you. Advait, good morning. Yes. So, yes, Aditya, good morning. Fine. So, in the yesterday's lecture, we have started a new chapter, right? Current electricity. Okay. What was the last example that we solved? Number 4. Okay. All right. Fine. So, let us solve the next example, that is example number 5. Let us solve the next example, that is example number 5. Before that, okay, all right. Let us solve the next example. Let me check how many of you have joined. Fine. So solve along with me. Example number 5. The current in the wire varies with the time according to the relation. See, we are not given charge, we are given current. Okay. So current varies with the relation some constant 3 plus 2t. Okay, no problem. According to this relation, how many coulomb of charge pass through the cross section of the wire in the time interval t equal to 0 to t equal to 4 seconds? Bit number A, find out the charge flown from t equal to 0 to t equal to 4 seconds. T equal to 0 to t is equal to 4 seconds. Okay, all right. T equal to 0 to t equal to 4 seconds. We have to find out the charge flown through the cross section of any cross section of the wire in the time interval t equal to 0 to t equal to 4 seconds. Bit number B, what constant current, this is a variable current because it is changing with time, what constant current would transport same charge in the same time interval? Okay, so in the bit number B they are asking what constant current, capital I is equal to question mark. Let us denote the variable current by small I and constant current by capital I. What value of the constant current will deliver same charge, will deliver or will transport same charge in same time interval, in same time interval, in same time interval. Okay, fine. Now first of all we want to find out charge, we are given current. So if we are given instantaneous current, current at given instance of time, then you shall write instantaneous current as dq by dt. dq is the amount of charge transported in time equal to dt. dq is the amount of charge flown in time equal to dt is equal to 3 plus 2t, is equal to 3 plus 2t. Sir, we do not want charge flown in time dt. We want charge flown in time t equal to 0 to t equal to 4 seconds. T equal to 0 to t equal to 4 seconds. So there is a finite time interval. This is a infinitesimally very small time interval, okay, and this is a finite time interval. 0 to 4 is a finite time interval. Obviously you will separate the variables dq, and all q variables will be on the one side, dt and all the t variables or all the t terms on the other side. dt बरोबर t च्या terms, dq बरोबर q च्या terms. q ची कुठलीही term नाही आहे, there is no term containing q, so dq will remain on as it is on the left hand side, dt on the right hand side. Now you have the limits of time and you have to find out the total charge flown. So we have to integrate this equation. If we integrate the equation, integration dq is equal to integration of 3 plus 2t 3 plus 2t 3 plus 2t bracket complete and then dt. Don't write 2t dt, bracket complete and then dt. Now when time t was equal to 0, when time t was equal to 4, we have to find out what is the total amount of charge flown. dq is the charge flown in time dt. What is the charge flown in time t equal to 0 to t equal to 4? Now some people will write initial charge flown equal to 0, final charge equal to q, dq integration q, but I want to write this as total charge flown as delta q. You should not have any problem with that. Ansh, do you have any problem? I want to call this as z. Do you have any problem? dq. परत आला बघ तुझा क्वेश्चन, लहानपणी होतस तुम्हाला. इंटिग्रेशन dq. सर डेल्टा q का लिहिलंय, q का नाही लिहिलं? dq 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 after addition. I want to write it as delta q. Will that be okay? Everyone reply in the chat box. Will that be okay if I write it like this? Integration dq, delta q, total charge flown. Of course you can write dq is integration dq equal to q. You can assign it limit from 0 to capital Q. So upper limit capital Q minus lower limit 0. That is also perfectly fine, no issues. But you should understand the meaning also. So that I am writing it as delta. Fine. Integration of each term can be done separately. Integration t goes from 0 to 4. Integration t goes from 0 to 4. T is a constant out of integration. dt integration is t. Limits are from 0 to 4. Plus 2 is a constant out of integration. T raised to 1. X raised to n integration is what? X raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So t raised to 1 integration will be what? T raised to 1 plus 1 upon 1 plus 1. Means t square upon 2. Power एकाने increase करायची, त्यानंच divide करायचं. Power एकाने वाढवणे, त्यानंच divide करणे. 1 plus 1 upon 1 plus 1. So 2 upon 2. Limits 0 to 4. 3 as it is, upper limit 4 minus lower limit 0 plus 2 as it is. This is t square upon 2. Lower limit 0, upper limit 4. 3 into 4 is 12 plus 2 as it is, upper limit 4. This 2 and this 2 gets cancelled, okay? This 2 and this 2 gets cancelled. No need to write it. No need to write it. So you can cancel this 2 and this 2. So upper limit 4 square minus lower limit 0 square. The answer will be 12 plus 16, 28. So 28 coulomb is the charge flown in the 4-second time interval. Reply in the chat box, clear and written. Question 5 over. No, bit number B राहिलाय. Okay. Bit number B कसं करूया? This was variable current, but that variable current has delivered 28 coulomb of charge in the time interval of 4 seconds. Interval, how to find out time interval? Final time minus initial time. So 4 minus 0. So 4 minus 0 is 4. So 4 seconds is the time interval. Fine. So bit number B. Bit number B. I want to find a constant value of current that would have delivered same amount of charge in same time interval. The amount of the charge is 28 coulomb and the time interval will be 4 second minus 0 second. 4 second minus 0 second. That's the time interval. So that will be equal to 7. It's a current, so I should write it as ampere. Reply me in the chat box. 7 ampere current, 7 ampere constant current would have delivered 28 coulomb of charge in 4 seconds. Same charge could be delivered by 7 ampere constant current in 4 seconds. So why 2 into, okay. So why 2 into t raised to 1 we have taken? Okay, why 2 into t raised to 1 we have taken? All right. This is 2t, right? Can I write t equal to t raised to 1? This has been done to make sure that we can very easily use the formula of integration. Integration of x raised to n dx is equal to x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So I should know what is this n in case of x. In case of x, what will be that? In case of x, it will be x raised to 1. So now I can write, instead of n, I can write 1. So x raised to 1 plus 1 upon 1 plus 1. Instead of n, I can write 1. Okay. So the formula contains n and I should know the value of n. So I wrote this 2t as 2 into t raised to 1. Just like x raised to n, I can find out integration of t raised to n. You can replace this variable t, 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 means t raised to n dt. Or let me write it here. T raised to n dt will be t raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. T raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So formula contains n and I should know the value of n. So I wrote that t as t raised to 1. Integration's a formula. Are you getting it? Integration करता थे कि नहीं आम्हाला? Integration येते की नहीं येत? Everyone reply me in the chat box. Do we know the integration of t raised to n? Those we do not. Those of us who do not know, reply me in the chat box as no, so that I could arrange some videos for them. ज्यांना ज्यांना माहित नाही आहे त्यांनी मला सांगा. I will send videos of integration on the group. Okay. And today you just remind me on the group that share the integration videos. Okay. इंटिग्रेशन बेसिक जे काय होतं, बेसिक मॅथमॅटिक्स आणि इंटिग्रेशन जे काय होतं, इंटिग्रेशन डेरिव्हेटिव्ह, त्याच्या व्हिडिओचा सेट आहे आपल्याकडे. एक 7-8 व्हिडिओज आहेत. ओके, half of hour, 7 to 8 videos are there. You can just go through those videos and you just can then derive, or you just then can very easily derivate, find out the derivation or integration. Okay, fine. So that's over. The question number 5 is over now. Next point, write down electric current in the conductor. The next point is electric current in the conductor. Electric current in the conductor. Okay. What is this point? Let's see how the current in the conductor is established. Okay. Write down the heading: electric current in conductor. Electric current in conductor. Electric current in conductor. Electric current in conductor or in conductors. Okay. So when first case 1, just write down as it is. They have also written like this: when no potential difference, when no potential difference is applied, when no potential difference is applied, in bracket, battery not connected, battery लावलं, To use a battery means to apply the potential difference. Battery not connected. Battery not connected. In that case, what is the situation? This is the conductor. Let's say a cylindrical conductor we have. Okay, and there are electrons. There are electrons which are free to move in the conductor. There are electrons which are free to move in the conductor. Okay, because of temperature, they have some thermal energy. Okay, of course, it is in the form of kinetic energy. So all those electrons are moving left, right, or up, down, or like this. Let me draw the path of any one electron. It is colliding with the other atoms. So this is any random path of electron. Okay, the kind of random motion it is doing. All right. So this is true for one electron. This is also true for other electrons also. This is true for other electrons also. This is our free electron. It is moving randomly here and there. It is moving randomly here and there. Okay. So on an average, number of electrons crossing the given cross section per unit time in the rightward direction is equal to number of electrons which are crossing the given cross section in the same time interval leftward are same. What I want to say is this: over the given interval of time, number of electrons which are crossing this area in the rightward direction and crossing the same area in the leftward direction are same, because it's a random motion, and you know result of randomness must be equal to 0. Okay, so many of the electrons, let's say in 1 second, let's say 5,000 electrons cross this cross section in the rightward direction. So around 5,000 electrons will cross the cross section in the leftward direction also in 1 second. So over the period of 1 second, there is no charge transfer. There is no net charge transfer across this area. Reply me in the chat box, agree, disagree. Electrons, all the electrons are performing random motion. Okay, it is somewhat like KTG or gas molecules. Yes, yes. All the electrons are performing the random motion. So या क्रॉस सेक्शनला क्रॉस करून राईटला जाणारे इलेक्ट्रॉन इन 1 सेकंड ऑन एन एव्हरेज विल बी इक्वल टू लेफ्टला जाणारे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. So there is no net transfer of charge across this cross section. Okay, so write down, as electrons are moving randomly, as electrons are moving randomly, there is no net charge transfer. There is no net charge. There is no net charge transfer across any cross section, across any cross section of the conductor, okay. या क्रॉस सेक्शनला क्रॉस करून जाणारे नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स इन 5 सेकंड 0, बिकॉज 5 सेकंदात राईटला जेवढे गेले तेवढेच लेफ्टला गेलेले असतील, बिकॉज इट्स अ रॅन्डम मोशन. ओके, असं काही नाही, रॅन्डम मोशन असं कुणालाही फेवर करणार नाही. रॅन्डम मोशन विल नॉट फेवर अ राईटवर्ड फ्लो ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन. रॅन्डम मोशन ओव्हर द पिरियड ऑफ टाइम विल नॉट फेवर अ लेफ्टवर्ड leftward motion of electron. No, it will not favor that. And if it is favoring that kind of motion, then it is definitely not a random motion. If it is random, then it should not favor any one of the outcomes. एक आउटकम काय असेल, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स राईटला क्रॉस करून जातील. एक आउटकम असेल, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स लेफ्टला क्रॉस करून जातील. नो आउटकम शुड बी फेवर्ड. ओके, कुठल्यालाही प्रायोरिटी द्यायचं काही कारण नाहीये इफ इट इज अ रॅन्डम मोशन. And yes, we just cannot predict that motion. It's a purely random motion. So over the period of time, no net charge transfer is taking place across any cross section of the conductor. So you can show here the charge flown rightward and charge flown leftward, both are equal. Okay, so no net charge transfer is taking place there. No net charge transfer is taking place there. So if potential difference is not applied, means battery not connected, if potential difference is not applied, if potential difference is not applied, then then there is then there is no current, then there is no current through the conductor. Potential difference apply केलं नाही म्हणजे बॅटरी लावली नाही तर करंट कंडक्टर मध्ये करंट नसतो. There is no current through the conductor, and this you already know. There is no current through conductor. There is nothing new about this, but we just got more insight into the process. Okay, what is happening inside the conductor? Electrons are moving randomly here and there. Okay, fine. Case number 2. Case number 2. When potential difference is applied, when potential difference is applied to the conductor, in bracket you can say battery connected. How the battery is connected? Battery connected. How the battery is connected? What will happen? What will happen? Let's say this is the conductor. Let's say we are connecting the battery. This is the higher potential terminal. Here the potential is V1. Here the potential is V2. The potential difference V is equal to V1 minus V2. So there exists, this is a higher potential terminal, this is the lower potential terminal. Let us show it by the battery. Okay, now this is higher potential terminal, this is lower potential terminal. So there will be the existence of electric field inside the conductor. Now you will say, sir, inside conductor electric field is zero, but that is the electrostatics case. Here the charges in the conductors are in motion. The electrons are going to move in the conductor. So electric field will exist inside the conductor, because this is not electrostatics. This is current electricity. Here charges inside the conductor are in motion. So there will be existence of electric field inside the conductor. Okay. So this is higher potential. This is lower potential. The direction of electric field will be higher potential to lower potential. This is going to be the direction of electric field. Okay, in this entire region, this is going to be the direction of electric field, higher potential to lower potential. Now electrons are negatively charged. Electrons are negatively charged. Positive charge experiences force in the direction of electric field. Positive charge experiences force in the direction of electric field. Negative charge experiences force opposite to the electric field. So these electrons, minus E, minus E, minus E, all these electrons will experience a force in the negative direction. Will experience a force in negative direction. All these electrons will experience a force in negative direction. And because of that, there will be net transfer of electrons in the opposite direction of electric field. Reply me in the chat box, agree, disagree. And because of that, over the given time interval, there will be transfer of charge, or there will be transfer of negative charge from right to left, or in the opposite direction of electric field. Electrons move in the direction opposite to electric field. So write down next. The electrons the free electrons experience the force in the opposite direction of electric field, experience the force in the opposite direction of electric field, and 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 there is net transfer of charge across any cross section of the conductor, any cross section of the conductor. So current is developed in the conductor. Current is developed in the conductor. Current is developed in the conductor. We take the direction of current. We take the direction of current as direction of motion of positive charge. Direction of motion of positive charge. So direction of current in conductors is opposite to motion of electrons. Opposite to motion of electrons. कारण इलेक्ट्रॉन्स निगेटिव्हली चार्जड आहेत. निगेटिव्ह चार्ज लेफ्टला चाललाय म्हणजे पॉझिटिव्ह चार्ज राईटला चाललाय, म्हणजे करंट राईटला आला. कारण पॉझिटिव्ह चार्जची डायरेक्शन म्हणजे करंटची डायरेक्शन. निगेटिव्ह चार्ज लेफ्टला means equivalently positive charge right, positive charge rightward means current rightward. So direction of current in the conductor is opposite to motion of electrons. Is opposite to motion of electrons. Reply me in the chat box, clear and written. CW. Good, very good, Isha. Everyone. All right. Fine. So when there was no battery connected, there was no net velocity of electrons. Okay, effectively ती random motion होती. So net velocity तुम्ही 0 घेतली तरी चालते. पण जेव्हा but when you connect a battery to the conductor, effectively electrons are moving in particular direction which is opposite to the direction of electric field. Okay, which is opposite to the direction of electric field. So there is a concept of velocity which can be assigned to the electrons if the battery is connected to the conductor. Okay, so this is a higher potential terminal V1, this is a lower potential terminal V2. The potential difference is equal to V, which is equal to V1 minus V2. Electric field will exist in the rightward direction, higher potential to lower potential. So this is going to be the direction of electric field. Now, when there was random motion, the net velocity of electron should be taken as 0. But now there is not a random motion. There is not a random motion. Along with that random motion, the electrons are experiencing a force in the leftward direction. So because of the random motion, because of the random velocity, effective velocity is 0. But because of the force which is in the leftward direction, there is a leftward velocity to these electrons, and that velocity is called as drift velocity. That velocity is called as drift velocity. So write down, when potential difference is applied, Just keep on writing. These are the new things, new terms. Just keep on writing. When potential difference is applied across a battery, sorry, across a conductor, the electrons effectively, drift means move, drift in the direction opposite to electric field, yes. Positive charge experiences force in the direction of electric field, negative opposite to the electric field. Electron is a negative charge, so the electrons drift in the direction opposite to electric field. Okay, this velocity is called as drift velocity. Drift, D-R-I-F-T. This velocity is called as drift velocity of electrons. Now you will say, sir, there is a force acting on the electron in the leftward direction. Yes, all the electrons are experiencing the force in the leftward direction. F is equal to EQ, F is equal to EQ, F is equal to EQ. Because of the force, there will be acceleration. And if there is an acceleration, velocity will go on changing. Yes. Then how can you say a particular velocity, a drift velocity? Because velocity of electrons must be changing. Because there is a force. Because of force, there will be acceleration. But remember that in this conductor, though effectively electrons are moving in the leftward direction, they are colliding with another electrons, they are colliding with the atoms which are present there. So there is lot of resistance to the motion of these electrons. So these electrons initially gain the kinetic energy because of the acceleration. Because the force is in the leftward direction, they will accelerate in the leftward direction. Leftward velocity will go on increasing, but after traveling a very small path, they immediately collide with the other electrons or the other atoms which are present in this conductor, and they lose their kinetic energy, and they again start their journey again from the zero velocity, almost zero velocity, not exactly zero but almost zero velocity. So these electrons are losing their kinetic energy. They gain the kinetic energy, they move some distance, then they lose, they again move, again lose, again move, again lose, again collide, again lose. Okay, so in this way electrons are gaining the kinetic energy, increasing their velocity, colliding with the other atoms which are present, again losing the kinetic energy, again starting from the beginning, from the zero velocity, again gain the velocity. In this way electrons are drifting. In this way all the electrons are drifting in the leftward direction in the conductor. And because of the collisions of the electrons which are happening inside the conductor, we say that conductor is offering resistance to the flow of charges. So every conductor, unless it is a superconductor, every conductor has some finite value of resistance to the current. Current means flow of charges. In case of conductor, the charges are electrons. When the electrons try to move inside the conductor, they collide with the atoms, and these atoms thereby resist the flow of the electrons, and that creates the property called as resistance of the conductor. Reply me in the chat box, agree, disagree. Good. I already told you that you're gonna enjoy this chapter. Maza aa jayega. Yes. Fine. Okay. So now we are getting something about the flow of charges inside the conductor when the battery is connected. Okay. Now what should be the direction of current? Electrons are moving like this. In this entire circuit, battery is providing the electrons. They are going inside the conductor, they are moving through the conductor, they are again coming out of the conductor, they are again going inside the battery. This is the flow of electrons. This is the flow of electrons. Okay, that should not be indicated on the wire. That should be indicated on the separate line, dotted line. So electrons are moving anti-clockwise. So it's a negative charge moving anti-clockwise. So positive charge moving clockwise. So positive charge motion can be shown on the wire, no problem, because that's the direction of current. That's the direction of current. Okay, so current through the conductor will be in the rightward direction. Current through the conductor will be in the rightward direction. Okay, fine. All right. Now let us try to find out formula for drift velocity. Okay, they have given some derivation, but that's not important. Still, we'll see that derivation. What's that? Write down drift velocity. Drift velocity. Okay, now let me allow you to imagine this drift velocity. Okay, let's say there is a group of animals. So many animals are there, or group of horses. Group of horses. Okay, this group of horse is moving in the rightward direction. This group of horse is moving in the rightward direction. Okay, let's say they are migrating from one place to another place. We know that there are animals who migrate from one place to another place. So definitely these are not humans, because humans generally do not migrate in the group. Okay, so definitely these are some animals who are migrating from one place to another place. Okay, but during the migration they are running very fast. They are running very fast, right? So when they are running very fast, each and every animal is basically moving from point A to B. Yes, but at given instance of time, if you observe them very carefully, then you will find that everyone is moving with some different velocity. Agree, disagree, reply me in the chat box. Everyone is moving with some different velocity. If you observe each and every individual carefully, some might be moving like this. Some animals might be colliding with each other. Some stone may come in the path. They might be diverting their path. So many things are happening there, but still you can assign a velocity to the group of this particle. After some time, the same group will be observed here at location B. They will reach their destination. Over the period of time, they travel a certain distance. The group travels a certain distance. So distance traveled upon time taken, that is going to be the speed, and that speed is called as drift velocity of the electrons. Reply me in the chat box. You can assign the concept of drift velocity to the group of electrons. Now, the velocity of these electrons might change in magnitude, might change in direction. So many things are happening because these electrons are colliding with each other, colliding with the neighboring atoms, again losing their kinetic energy, again gaining the kinetic energy because there is a force acting on these electrons. Under the influence of electric field, they are experiencing a force. So again, one animal collides with another animal or collides with the stone, then stops, then again tries to run. But still, the group can be assigned a velocity. Even if you observe this group, you will observe that this group is moving like this. That velocity of the group is the drift velocity. So in this way, electrons are drifting. These electrons are drifting like this. But there are so many things happening here. Electrons are gaining, losing, colliding. So many things are gaining energy, losing energy, colliding with the other electrons, colliding with the other molecules. So many things are happening here. But still, that group of electron you can observe moving inside the conductor like this, and then through the battery again like this. So that is called as drift velocity of electrons. Okay, sir. जानो गुना जानी कुनी यही definition ड्रिफ्ट व्हेलॉसिटी तयार केली असेल, कॉन्सेप्ट तयार केली असेल, त्याने किती छान इमॅजिन केलं असेल बघा. It gives satisfaction. When you imagine drift velocity, it gives a kind of satisfaction that we are learning something. Every individual electron has different velocity, but as a group, the group is moving in the forward direction. Okay, fine. So that is the drift velocity of the electrons as a collection or as a group. Okay, fine. Now we know that after almost every collision, electron is losing the kinetic energy. So on an average, what is its velocity that we can find out? So it's like this. Can I write velocity of the electron? Velocity of the electron V1 is equal to initial velocity, which is equal to 0 plus at. Acceleration of the electron, can I write? Or let me write V is equal to U plus at. So for the case 1, V1 is equal to initial velocity. Let me take, I just applied the electric field. So initially velocity of the electron was 0. Acceleration will be equal to force upon mass of the electron into time required for the first collision. An electron, after some time, after very short time interval, it is going to collide with other electron or other atom which is present inside the conductor. This is the time required for the first collision, and this is the velocity just before first collision. Okay, sir. This is the force acting on the electron. Can I write the force acting on the electron as F is equal to EQ? I just want the numerical value. Electric field into charge on the electron, EQ, that's it. So EE is EQ, electric field, Q is the charge on the electron, into T1. Fine. After first collision, electron is going to lose almost its all of kinetic energy, almost entire kinetic energy it loses. Again it starts over again. So now its velocity is 0. Now it will again accelerate under the influence of the force EQ, acceleration. And now for the second collision, let's say it takes time equal to T2. For the second collision, let's say it takes time equal to T2, and again it collides with the another atom or another electron or another molecule, whatever inside that conductor is present. This is the time required for the second collision. Now again it almost loses all of its energy. Again its initial velocity you can take approximately 0 plus EE by m into time required for the third collision, and in this way electron is moving in the forward direction. Okay. So what you can do is you can just keep on writing like this. So over the period of time there will be thousands and millions of collision of electron when it is moving inside the conductor. Okay, sir, and so on. And after very short times, it is going to collide. And after every collision, we assume that it loses almost entire of its kinetic energy. In reality, this velocity may not be 0, but we take it as to simplify the things. And that approximation is valid because practically also we can verify when we observe electrons as a group, whatever the derivation is, whatever the formula has been given by the derivation, answer by the derivation and answer by the observations, this theory and practical, they can match. So there is no problem to take these initial velocity 0 here. Okay, and so on. So what is the on an average velocity of electron? Initially it was V1, then V2, then V3. So on an average velocity is called as drift velocity, Vd, which is equal to addition of all these velocities and so on, whole divided by the number of collisions n. Yes, for number of collisions they use the symbol small n. Now let us write what are the parameters we have written here. E is the electric field. What is E? E is the electric field. V1 velocity after first collision. Just keep on writing. This derivation will not be asked in the boards, will not be asked in the boards. Velocity after second collision. V3, velocity after third collision, and so on. T1, time for first collision, time for second collision. T3, time for third collision, time for third collision. Therefore, drift velocity is equal to V1 is equal to E by m into T1. E by m. M is the mass of electron. Okay. Plus V2. V2 is E by m into T2. E by m into T2 plus and so on, divided by V1, V2, V3 I replace, divided by n. N is the number of collisions. Number of collisions. So what I can do is E by m, E by m common, E by m common. So T1 plus T2 and so on, whole divided by number of collisions. Whole divided by number of collisions. Time required for first collision, time required for second collision, time required for third collision, fourth collision, fifth collision, and so on. So this is going to be the total time required for the collision divided by total number of collisions. So that will give you average time required for one collision. This will give you average time required for one collision. It is called as tau. It is called as tau. Okay. Its name is relaxation time. I think it is called as relaxation time. I will again verify. Relaxation time. Why relaxation? Because during this time there was no collision, but after this time, on an average, after this time, there will be the collision of electron. On an average, after this time, there will be collision of electron. So this I call it as relaxation time. So E by m into tau. E by m into tau. That's the formula for drift velocity. That's the formula for drift velocity. Square bracket this. Drift velocity is E by m into tau. E by m into tau. Electric field into charge on electron, numerical value only. E by m into tau. E by m into tau. This is how I remember it. Their answer same. Tau is a mean time between two collisions. Mean time between two collisions. On average, what is the time required for one collision or time required between two collisions? Write down. Mean time between two collisions. Mean time between two collisions. दोन collisions चा मधला on average time. Mean time between two collisions. Reply in the chat box, clear and written. CW. First, writing. लिहा. झालं की सांगा. Can we say that U net is 0? No. Acha, U net. Okay. Yes, yes. Net initial velocity. You can take U net equal to 0. No problem. Yes, you can take that. Okay. All right. Now the next point is microscopic form of Ohm's law. Sir, can we say that at a particular instance, different molecules have V1, V2, V3? Hmm? Can we say that at particular different molecules have V1, V2, V3? We are considering this for one electron. If this is true for one electron, it will be true for other electrons also. Journey of electron we are considering after first collision, after second collision, after third collision, after n number of collisions. If this is true for one electron, it will be true for other electrons also. This is not the velocity at given instance of time of first electron, of second electron, of third electron. No, no, we are not considering that. We are not considering that. Over the journey, what is the on an average velocity of single electron? That we are considering as drift velocity. If it is true for one electron, it will be true for the group of electrons also. This is not a velocity at given instance of time of first electron, of second electron, of third electron. No, that's not the thing. That's not the thing. Okay. Write down the heading as microscopic form of Ohm's law. Okay. So Ohm's law we already know. V is equal to IR. That is called as macro. But now I am saying micro. So write down microscopic form of Ohm's law. Chalo. Microscopic form of Ohm's law. Now small v, capital V later you have to draw differently. This is the conductor. Okay. This is the higher potential end. This is the potential difference of the battery. This is higher potential terminal. This is the lower potential terminal. Potential difference is V. V1 minus V2. Electric field is in the rightward direction. The cross-sectional area is A. Length of the conductor is L. This is the potential difference capital V. The current through the battery. Electrons will move anti-clockwise. Negative terminal will provide the electrons. They will move through the conductor. They will again come back to the battery. Effectively, battery is not gaining, or effectively this conductor is not gaining any electrons, not losing any electrons. Electrons are being provided by the battery. They are moving through the conductor. They are again accepted by the battery. That's it. So conductor is not losing its electron. Okay, electrons are being provided by the battery. They are again taken by the conductor. Taken by the battery, provided by the battery, taken by the battery. So conductor will always remain neutral. Okay, it is not gaining or losing any electrons. I want to find out the current in this circuit. What is the current? Now the current direction will be like this, rightward. All right. To find out the current, what I will say is this: there is so many electrons which will be present in this volume of the conductor. Now I will consider that much time in which all these electrons will cross this cross section and will move inside this wire. In short, I am saying all these electrons, I want them to cross this cross section. Okay, and then time required to cross all these electrons to this cross section, that time I will write. Charge on all these electrons, that charge I will write. Then charge upon time I will find out the current through the conductor. Okay, so what I am trying to do is this. Okay, now this is my first equation. Now charge crossing this cross section is going to be this entire charge in the conductor. So for that I need a quantity called as number of electrons per unit volume. If I know number of electrons per unit volume, I can know total number of electrons in this volume. Fine. Just keep on writing. Let me write total charge flown is equal to number of electrons per unit volume multiplied by charge on single electron. Number of electrons per unit volume will be small n. These are the number of electrons per unit volume multiplied by, or shall I say total number of electrons multiplied by charge on single electron. Now total number of electrons I can write in this volume, total number of electrons I can write number of electrons per unit volume into the volume. Now volume and small v and capital V we should not confuse. So for volume directly write area into length. Area into length. So these are the number of electrons. Number of electrons per unit volume into the volume multiplied by charge on single electron. Number of electrons into charge on single electron is equal to total charge. Is equal to total charge. Fine. Is equal to total charge into the small e. That's it. First point is over here. First point is over. Now let us try to find out time required. What is the time required by this entire charge to cross this cross section? Sir, when these electrons reach at this point, all the electrons will have crossed this cross section. जेव्हा इथले इलेक्ट्रॉन इथं पोहोचतील तेव्हा हे सगळे इलेक्ट्रॉन ऑलरेडी क्रॉस करून गेलेले असतील. Okay, so we could have simply found, or we can simply find time required for the journey this point to this point. That is very simple task. Time is equal to distance upon speed. Distance is equal to L, and speed of the group of electrons is called as drift velocity Vd. And see how small letter v I am writing, small v, capital V. So in this way I never get confused between small v and capital V. So distance upon speed, I just did distance upon speed so that I can calculate the time required by all these electrons to cross this cross section. When these electrons reach here, automatically all the further electrons, or all the electrons which are in front of these electrons, when these electrons reach at this point, all these front wale electrons will cross this cross section. Okay, because ultimately drift velocity is a velocity of group. When this section, or when these electrons reach here, automatically all these electrons will cross this cross section. And because of the electrons which are crossing this cross section, because of that there will be definitely a crossing of charge. Now you will say, sir, electrons are actually moving anti-clockwise. Okay, you can consider the cross sectional area here, no problem. Now you will say, sir, electrons will be initially here, all these electrons will cross this cross section. That is also okay, no problem. Same honar. Electrons, I know that electrons are moving in leftward direction. I showed it in the rightward, but that was wrong. Electrons are actually moving in the leftward direction, but other things will remain same. Everything else will remain same. So these number of electrons into charge on single electron. So this much charge is crossing this cross section in this much time. Okay. So what you can do is equation 2 and equation 3 in equation 1. Two and 3 in 1. So current through the conductor is equal to charge, number of electrons. Oh, this I have derived. Number of electrons per unit volume into my volume. So this will give me total number of electrons into charge on single electron. This is the charge divided by the time, which is equal to L upon Vd. All right, sir, this L gets cancelled. Yes, L gets cancelled. You can cancel it. So that becomes N E A this VD in the numerator. That's it. This formula I just remember. I is equal to NEAVD. I is equal to NEAVD. You also will remember this formula. This is very important. I is equal to NEAVD. I is equal to NEAVD. Now write down what are the N, what is E, what is A, what is VD. N is hash means number. If you get confused, let's write number of electrons per unit volume. Number of electrons per unit volume is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. A is area of cross section of conductor. A is area of cross section of conductor. Cross section area of conductor. Vd is the drift velocity of the electrons. Drift velocity of electrons. That's it. I is the current through the conductor. I is the current through the conductor. Current through conductor. I is the current through the conductor. Reply in the chat box up to this clear and written. CW. How we elaborate the equation 3? Time is equal to distance upon speed. Distance traveled. When these electrons will reach here, automatically all these electrons will cross this cross section. So time is equal to distance. Distance traveled is L upon speed. Speed is Vd. Electrons are drifting, moving with the velocity equal to Vd. So time is equal to distance upon speed. Now replying everyone in the chat box, clear and written. Okay, fine. Now, still we have not derived the Ohm's law. Okay, we are on the journey. Fine. In between, you can figure out what is the current per unit area value. Okay, current divided by area. You can find out here. Let's modify this equation. Few other modifications. Just keep on writing. Sir, I is equal to N E A V D. I is equal to N E A V D. Yes. So, sir, I upon A equals N E V D. But sir, current per unit area is the current density. So N E V D. N E V D. You will remember this. You will remember this. So that's current density, current per unit area. That is current density, current per unit area. Again, sir, I is equal to N E A V D. N is number of electrons per unit volume. E is charge on electron or numerical value 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. Area of the conductor, drift velocity of electron, current through the conductor. I is the current through the conductor. We can modify this equation further. I is equal to N E A. Drift velocity is E by M into tau. E by M into tau. Derived formula. Drift velocity is E by M into tau. Okay. Okay. Now, electric field can be written as potential difference upon distance. E is equal to V upon D. E is equal to V upon D. E is equal to V upon D. But electric field is equal to potential difference upon distance. V is the potential difference. Instead of distance, write L. E is equal to V upon D asते. V upon L. You can take this entire electric field uniform, no problem. Okay. Next, I is equal to NEA. Instead of E, write V upon L into E by M into tau. Now arrange this equation. V is equal to something. Capital V is the potential difference now. Right here, V is the potential difference across conductor. Just keep on writing. V is the potential difference across conductor. Just keep on writing. Then write V is equal to something. V is equal to everything on the left hand side. L M L M L M NEA E. So N into E square into A into tau. N into E square into A into tau. Everything on the left hand side into I. So this must be the resistance of the conductor. V is equal to I. This must be the resistance of the conductor. V is equal to I. Reply in the chat box, agree, disagree. Good. I just rearrange this. V is equal to IR. Ohm said, right? Ohm said V is equal to IR. Where that V is equal to IR came from? From this. From this. Okay. All right. I told you that you want to enjoy this chapter. Fine. Let me arrange the dimensions of the conductor, that is length and area, separately, and constant things separately. Okay. So this is called as macroscopic Ohm's law, or rather instead of writing here, write like this. V is equal to this entire term, let us call this as resistance of the conductor into R. V is equal to IR. This equation is called as macroscopic Ohm's law, because it is applied to entire conductor. And if you want to apply it at given point, then we need to do some modifications in this law at given point so that it can become microscopic. And for that, I need to take help of this equation. Okay, just keep on observing. Macro, not micro. We have still not found the microscopic. Okay, we will find that. And for that, you can directly say that this is the microscopic Ohm's law, no problem. This is the microscopic Ohm's law. You can say that. Here there is no problem, because this concept of current density is applicable at given point. So okay, so at given point this law is applicable, so there is no problem at all by to use this equation. Okay, drift velocity is the velocity of the group of electrons. Okay, so that is also a concept applicable at each and every point, so there is also no problem. This is number of electrons per unit volume, that can be also applicable at given point, and E is the just number 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. So this you can take as microscopic Ohm's law, but I still want to do some modifications in this law, but that I will do later. First I will deal with this macroscopic, the familiar law. This is familiar law. Okay, V is equal to I into R. So R is equal to some value m upon n e square tau into L upon A. This term is called as resistance of conductor. This term is called as resistance of conductor, and this term is a constant term for given conductor. For given conductor, this is a constant term. Mass of electron, charge on electron, number of electrons per unit volume, and tau depend on the conductor. This is universally same. Mass of electron, charge on electron, this is also universally same, but this depends on the conductor, this depends on the conductor. Okay, so this is a term which is a constant for given conductor. If you change the conductor, this term will change, but it is constant for given conductor as resistivity rho, and this L as it is, A as it is. What is the formula for rho? Formula for rho is m upon n e square tau. Okay, seems somewhat difficult, but no need to remember that formula. You can derive that formula as per the need. I will tell you which equations to be remembered and which equations you can forget, because everything can be derived. Okay, as per the need, everything can be derived within a span of 10 seconds. M upon n e square tau. This term is called as resistivity. 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 Its value is constant for given material. See, resistivity does not depends on dimension. Does not depend on dimension. Resistance depends on dimensions L and A, but resistivity is a property of material. This is property of material, and resistance is property of material as well as dimensions. Material as well as dimensions. So its value is resistivity. Its value is constant for given material at given temperature. At given temperature. So for iron at 20 degrees Celsius, resistivity is fixed. Resistance will depend how long a conductor you are taking. What is the area of cross section of the conductor? Okay, so iron piece, its dimensions, length and area of cross section, on that resistivity of degrees Celsius fixed. Resistivity of copper at 50 degrees Celsius fixed at given temperature. Resistivity of material is a fixed quantity. With a change in temperature, resistivity will change. If resistivity changes, resistance also changes. So there will be the concept of temperature coefficient of resistance, because with temperature resistivity will change, with temperature resistance will change. So just like linear expansion, volume expansion, there you found out final length is equal to initial length into bracket 1 plus alpha delta theta. Just like that, final resistance is equal to initial resistance into bracket 1 plus alpha delta theta. Those concepts you will find here also. Reply in the chat box, agree, disagree. Hmm. But sir, won't relaxation time vary for force is more? काय बोलतोय आप? This relaxation time, will it depend on force is more, force more force, for more force there will be more acceleration. More acceleration means less time required for the electrons to travel between two successive collisions. But what is distance for successive collisions, that we don't know. Do you know that? Exactly between these two points there will be the collision. It might happen here, then happen here. It might happen here, then might happen here. So I would rather assign this relaxation time to the conductor property. These distances will decide that relaxation time, because on an average drift velocity is going to be the fixed value. Of course, that drift velocity depends on electric field. You are trying to assign this with this. I am saying drift velocity depends on E and drift velocity depends on E and drift velocity depends on tau. You are trying to assign this tau with E. मला ते जास्त काही योग्य वाटत नाही. I would rather assign that tau to the conductor. Of course, some variations will be there. Of course, you can expect some variations, but exact nature we cannot predict. How can we say? तेवढं डिटेलिंग कसं करता येईल तूच मला सांग. मग काय आपण गप्पा मारत बसू शकतो दिवसभर. Are you getting this? Will the relaxation time tau vary with the force? असा क्वेश्चन आहे. व्हेरी विथ द फोर्स म्हणजे आता ऑफकोर्स तो फोर्स ऑन इलेक्ट्रॉन असणार. तो किती असणार? E into E असणार. EQ, E into E असणार. With the more force, more acceleration. That will take less time to cover a certain distance. But who will decide that certain distance? That will be decided by the conductor. Okay. So of course you can assign, or of course you can say that this relaxation time will vary for different electric field, but I will take it constant for the conductor. So I will assign still this resistivity to the property of conductor. Tau property of conductor, N property of conductor, rho property of conductor at given temperature. I will not assign this to the electric field. Okay, for high values of electric field, very extremely high values of electric field, definitely this resistivity may become the property of electric field. म्हणजे काय 12वीत सायंटिस्ट बनायचं असेल तर ते करायचं. Are you getting this? Tell me, will this rho depend on electric field? Obviously, why not? Ultimately याचा अर्थ काय व्हायला लागलाय? Tau depends on electric field means rho depends on electric field means sir whatever you have written this will not be true for high values of electric field. Certainly right. Why not? For extremely high values of electric field, even the dielectrics will break down. Even the current will flow through the insulators for high values of electric field. What does that mean? Initially the insulators have very high resistance, so no current was flowing. You apply the electric field, you keep on increasing, no free electrons are present, but if you keep on increasing the electric field, a huge number of electrons can be made free from the atoms and they will now contribute to the flow of electricity. Okay, in that case dielectric, we say that dielectric breakdown. So high values of electric field, this resistivity will depend on the electric field also, but for low values of electric field I will write this resistivity only as a property of conductor at given temperature. Okay, it is also called as specific resistance, also called as specific resistance. also called as specific resistance. Okay, what is the unit of resistance? Unit of resistivity, let's figure that out. Unit of resistance, let's do some unit calculation. V is equal to IR, taking units on both the sides, or writing R is equal to V upon I. Unit of resistance is equal to unit of potential difference divided by unit of current. Just keep on writing. Unit of potential difference is volt. Unit of current is ampere. Unit of current is ampere. Volt upon ampere, people call it as ohm. Ohm is the name of scientist. Symbol capital omega. Ohm, this is a capital omega. Small omega like this. Small omega. This is capital omega. Ohm is the name of scientist, capital omega. Okay. Now let's write R is equal to rho L upon A. Let's write R is equal to rho L upon A. Taking units on both the sides. Unit of rho we want to find out. Let's write rho is equal to RA upon L. Unit of rho is equal to unit of resistance into unit of area divided by unit of length. Unit of resistance is ohm, unit of area is meter square, unit of length is meter, so ohm into meter. Okay, ohm into meter, ohm meter, ohm meter or ohm centimeter sometimes they use. I use ohm meter, SI grade. Reply in the chat box clear and written CW. Okay, right again. I is equal to NEAVD. I is equal to NEAVD. Okay, I upon A is equal to NEVD. I upon A is J, current density. Current density. N as it is, E as it is. VD, drift velocity. Drift velocity. Drift velocity, keep it as it is. Call this as equation 1. Now, drift velocity depends on electric field. Why? Let me tell you. VD is equal to E by M into tau. E by M into tau. Fine. So VD is equal to small e into tau by M into capital E. This is a constant. This is a constant for given conductor tau. Again, the property I am assigning to the conductor. So this term is called as mobility. This term is called as mobility, mu. Okay. काळजी करू नका, मी जर न बघता लिहू शकत असेल तर तुम्ही लिहू शकाल. It will take 2-3 lectures only, but after this you will be able to write because I know what are the final equations, and with those 3-4 final equations I am doing all these things. Mu is called as mobility. Mobility of charge carrier, or simply mobility. Mobility of charge carrier. It is always relaxation time into E by M. charge divided by mass, charge upon mass ratio, into relaxation time is called as mobility of given charge carrier. Charge upon mass ratio into tau, or tau into charge upon mass ratio, charge on electron, mass of electron. This is called as mobility of electron. Okay, all these are equation 2. All right, sir, no problem. Next, just keep on writing. Okay, no one is going to ask you these derivations, but enjoy the complexity, because ultimately it results into simple laws like V is equal to IR and like that. Fine. Equation 2 in equation 1. Equation 2 in equation 1. That will give me current density is equal to NE into VD. What I remember is only this, okay? And this I know. I will tell you how to remember all these things also, but later. NE into VD. What is VD now? Mobility into electric field. Mobility into electric field. So for given electric field, drift velocity will be more if the mobility is more. Okay. You can figure out the unit of mobility on your own. This is velocity, this is electric field. Electric field, force per unit charge, Newton per Coulomb. Drift velocity meter per second. That you can figure out. So J is equal to NE mu or mu NE into capital E. This is again the property of material. This is again the property of material, not the dimensions, not the length and area. Again the property of material. So this property of material is called as sigma. Sigma is called as conductivity. Sigma is called as conductivity. And it is 1 upon resistivity. Okay. It is 1 upon resistivity. And you already know what is resistivity. Okay. Okay, fine. So sigma is equal to Q N E. Sorry, mu Ne. Mobility, number of electrons per unit volume, charge on single electron. Mobility, number of charge carriers per unit volume into charge on the single charge carrier. Mobility of charge carrier, number of charge carriers per unit volume into charge on single charge carrier. Eka charge carrier वरचा charge. That is called as conductivity. Reciprocal of resistivity is also called as conductivity. Just like reciprocal of resistance is called as conductance, reciprocal of resistivity is called as conductivity. So this equation J is equal to sigma into E. This is applicable at given point. At given point, what is electric field? At given point, what is current density? What is the mobility of the conductor? That is, at each and every point it is, sorry, not mobility, conductivity. What is the conductivity of conductor? This is also applicable at each and every point. So it is also the concept at given point. So this form is called as, which form? J equal to sigma into E. This form is called microscopic Ohm's law. Microscopic Ohm's law. And V is equal to IR is called as macro. Macro means big, micro means small. This form is applicable at given point. So it is microscopic, MI. Reply me in the chat box. Are the things taught in today's lecture clear to all of you? Fast. Time over. काय सर ओहम्स लॉ शिकवला आज? नुसतं आम्हाला V इज इक्वल टू IR म्हणून सोडून दिलं होतं, होय ना? लहानपणी असंच केलं होतं तुमच्या बरोबर. V इज इक्वल टू IR, जाओ घरी, हो की नाही? V is equal to I. Ohm's law काय? V is equal to IR, I is equal to V upon R, R is equal to V upon I. जाओ घरी. आणि रेजिस्टन्स इन सिरीज आणि रेजिस्टन्स इन पॅरलल. संपला चॅप्टर करंट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. 10वी मधला करंट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी चॅप्टर संपला. पुढे काय असते, रेजिस्टन्स इन सिरीज असते, रेजिस्टन्स इन पॅरलल असते. पोटेन्शियल म्हणजे काय माहित नसते, पोटेन्शियल डिफरन्स म्हणजे काय माहित नसते, कारण पोटेन्शियल नावाचा चॅप्टरच नसतो. डायरेक्टली करंट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नावाचा चॅप्टर असतो 10th मध्ये. आणि तरी पण पोटेन्शियल डिफरन्स करायचं. मग पोटेन्शियल चॅप्टर पहिल्यांदा घ्यायला पाहिजे, आपण तो घेतला. मग कॅपॅसिटन्स वगैरे ऍडिशनल मध्ये गोष्टी बघितल्या आणि मग करंट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी असं शिकवलं पाहिजे. चलो बाय बाय एवरीवन, लेट मी एंड दिस लेक्चर एट दिस पॉइंट. विल मीट इन टुमॉरोज लेक्चर. ओके, चलो बाय, हैव अ गुड डे एंड बाय बाय. Okay, but before that, submit today's homework. Okay, the board homework you have to submit today.